Have you ever found yourself sitting in silence, surrounded by a quiet house, and suddenly felt an overwhelming sense of loneliness? It's a feeling that many of us experience, especially as we age. You might look out the window and feel the weight of the years, thinking about all the people you've lost touch with, or simply missing the days when things felt busier, fuller. Loneliness after 60 is something that's all too common, but it doesn't have to be a permanent part of life. As we get older, the landscape of our lives changes in ways we never quite expect. Friends and family might move away, our loved ones may pass, and our children may become more absorbed in their own lives. The activities that once brought us joy can start to feel less fulfilling. It can be easy to slip into a routine of isolation, and suddenly, you might realize that you feel more alone than you ever thought possible. But here's the thing. Just because you feel lonely doesn't mean you have to stay that way. In fact, loneliness can be an opportunity to rediscover joy and purpose, even in this season of life. You might be surprised to know that finding joy again after 60 is not only possible, it's often just a matter of shifting your perspective and embracing new habits that nourish your soul. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. 6 simple ways to bring joy back into your life when you're feeling lonely after 60. Let's begin with something that can seem like a small step, but trust me, it's one of the most powerful changes you can make. The first thing to consider is a shift in your daily routine. When you're feeling lonely, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of doing the same things every day. You wake up, have your coffee, maybe watch a bit of TV, and then the day slips away. But what if you introduce something different to your routine? Something to spark a little excitement and sense of accomplishment. Start with a hobby or activity you've always been curious about but never had the time to pursue. Maybe you've thought about learning to paint, or picking up an instrument you used to love, or even joining a local book club. These activities don't just fill your time. They stimulate your mind and body, providing a sense of purpose and achievement. For example, if you've always had a passion for gardening, now might be the perfect time to start a small vegetable garden. It's an activity that gets you outside, gets your hands in the dirt, and best of all, it gives you the joy of nurturing something and watching it grow. Or if you've ever wanted to learn a new language, consider enrolling in an online course. Not only will it keep your brain active, but it also opens the door to new friendships and experiences. Sometimes, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we don't have the energy or time for new things. But remember, the key to combating loneliness isn't necessarily about being around others all the time. It's about doing something meaningful, something that brings you joy and helps you reconnect with yourself. Whether it's something you loved doing years ago or something entirely new, these activities can serve as a bridge to a more fulfilling, connected life. Now, let's talk about something that's closely tied to our emotions and overall well-being: physical activity. When we age, it's common to slow down and, often, to become more sedentary. We might think that because we're getting older, we should rest more and take it easy. But in reality, moving our bodies is one of the most effective ways to combat loneliness and improve our mood. Exercise doesn't have to mean hitting the gym or going for long runs. It could be something as simple as going for a walk around the neighborhood or trying out yoga in the comfort of your home. Studies have shown that regular physical activity helps reduce feelings of anxiety and depression, boosts energy, and improves overall mental health. Plus, it's a fantastic way to stay socially connected. Maybe there's a walking group in your community or a local fitness class where you can meet new people. It's also important to note that physical activity doesn't have to be intense to be effective. Even light exercises like stretching, tai chi, or gentle swimming can have profound benefits for both your body and your mind. By staying active, you not only take care of your physical health but also give yourself a chance to feel more connected with others and the world around you. Now, after we've talked about incorporating some fresh activities into your routine and keeping your body moving, let's dive into the third way to combat loneliness after 60. Socializing in a way that feels right for you. Many people believe that loneliness is all about being physically alone, but it's much more about the quality of our connections. Sometimes, it's about feeling connected emotionally and mentally, even if you're not always surrounded by a crowd. One way to break free from loneliness is to create a smaller, more intentional circle of friends or companions. It might not mean hanging out with dozens of people, but rather focusing on a few relationships that bring you joy. Whether it's reconnecting with an old friend, joining a social group based on a shared interest, or even spending more time with family members, these relationships don't have to be complicated or forced. If you find that your social circle has become smaller over the years, this is your opportunity to reconnect. Pick up the phone and reach out to an old friend, or join an online community where you can share your interests and experiences. It's amazing how, even in the digital age, a simple phone call or video chat can rekindle a sense of connection and remind you that you're never truly alone. Now that we've discussed ways to reignite joy through new activities, movement, and social connections, we're well on our way to creating a life that's filled with more joy, purpose, and fulfillment. But remember, this journey is unique for each of us, and it takes time and patience. Let's dive into some other strategies to truly transform how we experience loneliness at this stage in life. I look forward to continuing this conversation with you and sharing more ideas that will help you thrive, no matter what age you are. Stay with me, because we've got much more to explore together. Let's keep going. As we continue our journey to rediscover joy and fulfillment, there's something else incredibly powerful we can explore: giving back. At this stage in life, many of us begin to reflect on all we've received and how we can share that with others. Volunteering, whether it's in your community, at a local hospital, or even remotely, can be one of the most rewarding ways to combat loneliness and regain a sense of purpose. When we volunteer, we're not just helping others. We're also helping ourselves. Helping those in need, especially those who might be even more isolated or vulnerable, brings a deep sense of satisfaction. It reminds us that we still have something valuable to contribute to the world. The impact of helping others goes beyond the action itself. It lifts our spirits, connects us to something greater than ourselves, and reminds us that we are part of a larger community. Perhaps there's a cause you're passionate about, like animal welfare, education, or supporting people with disabilities. Maybe you've always wanted to help at a local food bank or assist in a shelter. There are also online volunteer opportunities if you prefer something you can do from home. In fact, many organizations now offer virtual volunteering roles where you can use your skills to mentor someone, provide companionship, or offer your expertise in a way that makes a real difference. But even if you're not looking to dive into formal volunteering, small acts of kindness in your everyday life can have the same effect. Whether it's helping a neighbor with their groceries, checking in on someone who might be struggling, or simply offering a smile to a stranger, these gestures create a ripple effect. You might be surprised at how just a few small acts of kindness can lift your own mood and reconnect you with a sense of joy and belonging. Now, let's talk about something else that can make a huge difference in your emotional well-being: spending time in nature. As we age, it's easy to become disconnected from the natural world, especially if we spend a lot of time indoors. But nature has an incredible way of rejuvenating our spirits and helping us feel more grounded and at peace. You don't need to live in the countryside to reap the benefits of nature. Even if you're in a city, there are parks, gardens, or quiet areas where you can sit and enjoy the fresh air. Whether it's going for a stroll in the morning, sitting on a bench and watching the world go by, or simply tending to a small garden, nature has a way of calming our minds and lifting our hearts. Spending time outdoors is also an excellent way to get some light physical exercise. You could walk through a local park, sit by a pond, or even just enjoy the beauty of flowers and trees around you. As you do so, try to embrace the peacefulness of the moment. Focus on the sounds of birds, the rustling of leaves, or the warmth of the sun on your skin. This simple practice of mindfulness in nature can help center your thoughts and reduce stress, giving you a much-needed mental reset. Spending time in nature is also linked to better mental health. Studies have shown that exposure to natural environments can lower levels of anxiety and depression, enhance mood, and improve overall well-being. Plus, it provides an opportunity to reflect and recharge, which can be particularly important when you're navigating feelings of loneliness. But as much as we might love the serenity that nature brings, let's not forget about the power of our own minds. One key way to combat loneliness and find joy again after 60 is by practicing gratitude. Focusing on the things you're thankful for each day can help shift your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. When we're feeling isolated or lonely, it's easy to focus on what we don't have, whether it's the company of others or the vitality we once had. But by actively choosing to focus on the positives, we can begin to retrain our minds and hearts to appreciate what's still around us. Starting a gratitude journal can be an easy way to implement this practice. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're thankful for a warm cup of tea, the blooming flowers in your garden, or a kind conversation with a neighbor. As you write these moments down, you'll start to notice how much joy is already present in your life. It's a reminder that no matter where you are in life, there's always something to appreciate. You can also take a moment each morning or evening to reflect on the things you're grateful for. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and let the good things in your life come to mind. This practice can be incredibly grounding and help remind you that even in times of loneliness, there's still a lot of love, beauty, and joy in the world. So far, we've talked about reconnecting with ourselves through new hobbies, staying active, volunteering, embracing nature, and practicing gratitude. All of these are incredible ways to combat loneliness and reignite joy, but there's one more powerful tool to consider: connection through spirituality or faith. For many, spirituality is a deep well of comfort and strength. Whether it's through religion, meditation, or simply a personal connection with something greater than themselves, many find that their faith offers them peace, purpose, and an unshakable sense of belonging. In fact, engaging in spiritual practices can be incredibly comforting when dealing with loneliness, as it provides a sense of community and connection that transcends physical space. For some, it may be about attending services at a local church or temple. For others, it might involve quiet reflection or prayer at home, meditating on thoughts of peace, love, and the interconnectedness of all beings. Spirituality can offer profound comfort, a sense of inner peace, and a reassurance that you're never truly alone, no matter what your circumstances are. No matter how you choose to approach spirituality, it's a wonderful way to cultivate a sense of connection that can combat loneliness. Whether it's a formal practice or simply spending quiet time reflecting on your life and purpose, these moments of spiritual connection can bring immense peace and joy. As we explore these ways to break free from loneliness, remember that the path to joy isn't always a straight line. It may take time and effort, and there may be days when you feel discouraged. But keep in mind that you're not alone in this. There's a world full of opportunities to reconnect, to find new joys, and to embrace the moments that bring you fulfillment. So let's continue our journey toward living a vibrant, joyful life, no matter what age we are. Keep moving forward, and remember, the best is yet to come. As we come to the close of our journey together, I want to leave you with one more idea, one that's simple but incredibly powerful: self-compassion. It's something we often overlook, especially when we're struggling with loneliness. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we feel disconnected or isolated. We might blame ourselves for not being more social, or for feeling down when we think we should be okay. But the truth is, you deserve to be kind to yourself, especially during moments of loneliness. We all experience ups and downs, and it's okay to feel lonely sometimes. But it's also important to recognize that loneliness doesn't define who you are. It's a feeling, not a permanent state. So, when those feelings arise, instead of being critical or pushing them away, try to embrace them with compassion. Acknowledge your feelings, and remind yourself that it's okay to experience them. Think of it this way: would you treat a friend who was feeling lonely the same way you might treat yourself? Chances are, you'd be kind, patient, and understanding. You'd tell them that it's okay to feel the way they do, and that they're not alone in their emotions. So why not extend the same compassion to yourself? When you show yourself kindness, you open the door to healing and growth. You begin to understand that being lonely doesn't mean you're weak or incapable of joy. It just means you're human. One thing that can help cultivate self-compassion is mindfulness. Mindfulness is about being present in the moment, without judgment. It's about noticing your feelings without trying to change them. Whether it's sitting in a quiet room, focusing on your breath, or simply observing your thoughts, mindfulness helps you be more gentle with yourself. It allows you to accept the moments of loneliness without letting them consume you. You start to realize that just because you feel lonely doesn't mean you are alone, and it doesn't mean you can't experience joy in other parts of your life. Another important aspect of self-compassion is allowing yourself to take breaks when you need them. It's okay to have quiet days where you rest, recharge, and give yourself time to process your feelings. Sometimes, when we feel lonely, we think we need to fill every moment with activity or people to make ourselves feel better. But the truth is, sometimes the best way to heal is to give yourself permission to slow down, to simply be, and to embrace the comfort of solitude. As you move forward, remember that your journey doesn't need to be rushed. You don't need to have everything figured out today or tomorrow. Healing from loneliness, rediscovering joy, and cultivating new habits take time. But each small step you take is a step toward a brighter, more connected future. Whether it's starting a new hobby, reaching out to others, or simply practicing gratitude each day, These moments all contribute to building a fulfilling, joyful life. So, take a deep breath and give yourself credit for all that you've already done. You've already taken a powerful step by considering ways to improve your emotional well-being and fight loneliness. Whether you're trying something new, making more time for yourself, or reaching out to others, you're already on the right path. And here's the best part, you're never truly alone. Even in the quietest moments, you're part of a much larger world filled with opportunities, connections, and joys waiting for you. Whether it's through small acts of kindness, time spent in nature, or nurturing your mind and spirit, there's always a way forward. So, as you continue on your journey, know that the best days are ahead of you. Every day brings with it a chance for new connections, new joys, and new ways to feel more fulfilled than ever before. Keep your heart open, embrace the moments, and never forget that happiness can be found, even in the smallest of steps. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you found something helpful in this video, I'd love for you to leave a comment and share your thoughts or experiences. Remember, you're not alone in this. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and join me next time for more tips, stories, and inspiration to help you live your best life. Here's to finding joy at any age, and to living your best, most connected life, no matter what. Take care.